So, Phil, first of all, you've enjoyed a fair amount of success here at Spa. What is it that you like about this place?
The fact that when I rock up here with United, we're always quick, pretty much. I mean, it's a great track, to be honest. It's so iconic. Obviously, it's got a huge heritage. With the corner that we're stood on right now, Eau Rouge is famous for many different reasons. A lot of tracks nowadays, especially modern ones, don't have any undulation, and this track, with it being, I don't quite know how long, 7.7K. The undulations are great, and I think a lot of the undulations make the circuit, and you only really find that on old school tracks such as Spa.
You also hold the LMP2 lap record here at Spa. What's the secret to a fast lap here at Spa?
I don't think there's one secret in particular. I think with it being such a long lap, it's just important to kind of be consistent throughout the lap, maximize where you can, but also not make any mistakes and lose silly amounts of time in other areas. The other thing is, like I said, there's lots of different aspects to the circuit with the undulation, so it's quite common for a car to be quick in one area and slightly off in the other. So like I said, maximizing where you can, where your car is strong, and then also not giving up too much time where you might be giving up a tenth or two to other competitors.
We all know that endurance is about teamwork, and you've raced with United since 2018. Tell us more about your team and your teammates you've worked with over the years.
I mean, I've worked with a handful of drivers. I've been fortunate to work with some really good guys that I'm still working with now, like Felipe, and Anil MS this year with Marino and Ollie. And Ollie obviously is my teammate, but in the other car in WEC, so he's sort of a competitor. It's great. It's a great environment, to be honest. I think United does a really good job on picking a very good collective group of people, not only the drivers, but also the engineers and mechanics. I think that whole environment breeds success ultimately in the long run.
2020 just didn't win your third 4 Hours of Spa-Francorchamps. You and Felipe made a bit of history when you won, again, the first drivers to win ELMS, WEC and the 24 hours long LMP2 class in the same year.
Yeah.
What does it feel like when you set records like that?
To be honest, the records, they don't add a huge amount, because you don't set out to make the records, you set out to do what it takes to then achieve the record, which is win races and win championships. So the record is just an added bonus, but ultimately we're not setting out to break records necessarily. We're just setting out to win every race we can, and ultimately if that ends up being the championship, then that's the end game, really.
You came straight into endurance racing from cars, starting with Michelin Le Mans Series in 2016. What made you decide to go the sports car route rather than single-seaters?
I've actually been asked that question a few times, and the sad answer, I mean, also sad, that happy mistake really, is the fact that we were just guided almost incorrectly, blindly into sports cars at the time, not really knowing what we were getting into. A lot of people traditionally go down the single-seater route. However, doing this route and going straight into endurance meant that I was in a very competitive place at quite a young age in LMP2, which, with the regulation changes in hypercar and LMP1 sort of dying off in the past few years, it meant that LMP2 was probably the most competitive category and the most competitive it's ever been in endurance racing, especially in WEC and ELMS. So I found myself in a position I'm super fortunate to be in now, where the sport has grown hugely, and now we have more manufacturers than there's ever been in the top class, and there's so much more spotlight on what we're doing. And in ELMS, the grids have been incredibly strong, and they strengthen every year. So it's a perfect sort of breeding ground for my development over the past few years, and now to sort of still be chasing success here a few years later.
Looking forward to this weekend, the 8th edition of the 4 Hours of Spa-Francorchamps. You come on the back of a win in Aragon with Marino and Ollie. What are your thoughts this weekend and the competition you'll face on Sunday?
I think the competition is going to be fierce. Obviously, we've had a long track record of success here in the past few years. So that does mean that we come into the weekend with an element of expectations. They're quite high. We wouldn't really be satisfied without coming away with a win, or at least feeling that we were challenging for the win in the race. So that is the goal, but it's no different to any of the goals of the other races. The difference being here is that we feel that we have a very strong baseline, and that we've developed over the few years that we've had the success here. So hopefully this weekend won't be any different. And after today's running in the open test day, we feel that we've got quite a strong package here again. Yeah.